Like that, right?
Yep, I'm getting ready to do it. So, are we live now?
They'll be live, but you'll be tagged, David. Another beautiful evening in the city of Baltimore. This is XTY. I'm TN.
And the Yoka T Price.
How are you? How are you today, T? How are you?
Yo, everything is super amazing.
Good. It's good. How have you been? I just saw.
This is so funny.
I
I
just
haven't seen you in so long. I know.
I get a little thrown off.
I had like a really amazing trip to Denver. So it's been a good, I mean, for me, this has been a really great pandemic. I don't know if I should be like feeling really good
You
about
be
it.
living, you be living your best life. That's why.
I'm truly blessed.
You
Yep.
around here scared, not going
But
anywhere.
out here hiking, yep, got to really experience a new territory, get outside into nature. I love to be outside, so it felt really good to be there. It felt like home almost, like I lived there in a past life or something before.
Mm.
Um, yeah, honey, yes.
Know that. You had a good vacation.
I had a wonderful vacation.
You got some fresh air. And I know it felt good to get out of Baltimore. Me, myself, I've been here the whole summer since I've been in quarantine since March. So, yeah. I might have a little social thing going on, but I'm usually outside. You see what I'm saying? Going nowhere. But that's not what this is about. We have a wonderful show in store for everybody this evening. We actually have a really good show. Before we actually get into that, remember you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, and our Snapchat, and also you can follow us on YouTube at
XCY girl.
Hi girl, I was trying to think of make sure that you follow us there. What else, T? Do we don't
That's
have
about it because it ain't nothing
we
going
don't
on.
have any drops. Do we have any drops? Just really, really quick. Any places we gotta shout out before we get into the show. Thought Mobs.
Definitely shout out Thought Mom.
Right. Make sure that you book those nail appointments and those pedicures and all of that. The information is going to be scrolling across. It's going to scroll across the screen shortly. Make sure you check them out. What?
I was going to say something about the crab feast because I know I still had some people inquiring about it. Yes, it will still go on, but it's going to be next year. Same time. Of course, it's going to be a different day. I can't tell y'all offhand, but I will definitely keep you guys posted on the deets on that. But it's definitely going to be going down. So either it's going to be inside, or I'm gonna try to see if I can rent an outside in the state park, so we can still do it outside because no telling what's going to be taking place next year as far as us getting like a vaccine or something.
I'm not getting the vaccine.
I'm not getting it either, but I don't know. We might be
on
lockdown for a minute.
Experiment around here, bruh. So I won't. There you go. So we're gonna get into the show for the day. We do have a special guest. He's been on XTY a couple of times. He was on I think the first time that the show actually met him, I was on maternity leave. So that was about like 3 years ago. I believe that it was for the Walk in My Shoes premiere. And then fast forward, we also met this young man when he put out a book. I think it was The Life of an Alpha Male.
Yeah.
Or you were working on the movie. You mother of a baby, so my a little jacked up. But he's back. He's back. David Marcus is back with us. I'm excited. We don't always really get along because and I always pop a lot of smack about it, but you are working on like you actually put out another book, right? That book is people can purchase it. We are going to get into that shortly. All right. So first, we got to do an XTY question because we do have a male here one who's very, very opinionated, and supposedly he's some sort of an expert. So
you know, we live for this. I'm ready. I'm like waiting for Tia to pop off.
Right. So the XTY question. Our viewers send in a question and we try to help them figure it out. All right. So this question I actually wrote it down because it was a little lengthy, so I counted some of that. So there's a female who likes a man. They have been around each other in the same social circles for years, and she has always liked him. He's never really showed any sort of interest in her until recently when they figured out that they had something in common. They formed a friendship, and now they talk on the phone on a regular basis. They text, they hang out and everything. Because she really likes him, she mixes up a few of these signals, and so she's not really sure if she should jump out there and pursue this anymore. Does that make sense? Because I don't really want to read the whole thing because it was about a couple of verses. I summed it up. So basically, she likes this person. She's not really sure if he likes her, but they do spend a lot of time together, and they have grown really, really close. Mm-hmm. What she should do?
That's kind of tricky. I mean, I don't
really read them, and so she doesn't know.
And see, I'm the type of person where I'm not going to say nothing. Like, you got to tell me if you're interested, but otherwise I'm not going to put myself out there. But that's just my own, personal preference. So I wouldn't, I mean, you guys can be very flirty and put off the wrong signals. But at the same time, like if you're not verbally coming out your mouth and saying what it is, I'm going to still, I'm going to still just be what I, be how I am, just be cool with you, and that's it. But no, I'm not into that. Nope, you ain't about to shut me down, have me looking crazy.
And we not doing that. You know what I mean? I kind of feel the same way.
Talking about nonsense, it ain't even like that.
We need friends, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I personally would just let him lead. I know with me, I am a very, very forceful person. So when I kind of want it, I'll just be like, listen, are we gonna, or what? Now I'm not gonna say it because my son is sitting across from me. But I'm gonna say, like, listen, you want to go home and, you know what I mean? I wouldn't do it in this situation.
I like that.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't do it in this situation. I wouldn't want my friend to look at me like, yo, like,
did you really?
Friends, like, we got to this point.
But and, I mean, what dude gonna turn down a
lot of them will. I mean, well, I don't know. I met one that will.
Most won't.
Most won't, and then they're still friends on the holler out you and just be, getting some, and you a friend at the same time.
then you'll be in a situationship.
Exactly. We know about them.
So I think that she should chill. I mean, that's just me. I think you should chill and just see what it is, because it may be that y'all really are friends. And he realized, oh, you really just not this whole, like, you really are like a good person that I want to hang out with. It may not be anything. So I don't think that you should. I think that you should kind of chill and just wait and see. And let him make the first move.
Yeah.
Where it's going to go.
Yeah, men like the chase, right? Ain't that how it's supposed to go?
I don't know where they do. They want to be easy. They want you to be easy. They want to give it up. You never know.
I don't know.
I think that's different man to man. Some don't like the chase. Like there is not like a certain blueprint formula to every man. Like, all men don't like the chase. Like, they won't waste their time. Some men, and I'm one of those men. Like, I like to, let's get started early. Yeah, I like to, but look, on the flip side, a lot of women, my speed, appreciate that, because I'm not to me, I have a lot of female friends, so I'm not really the pursuing type, because I don't want to be annoying. Like, they get that women get that on Facebook all day when they go to Walmart, to the gas station. So I'm kind of good at reading signs and vibes on that she's interested or wants me to pursue. So
that's interesting because that's a whole nother conversation for real. Because it's like, then what happens? Like the two people never link because no one's ever saying anything because everybody like
eventually I think that they will, because at some point somebody's going to be drinking, somebody's going to get a little y'all. So listen,
you're right. I agree.
Here, like, where you going? You want to come to my house, or it's especially because of liquor. Like,
right,
a lot of things possible. So
I agree.
I think it can happen. You just have to be willing. And then you have some that they may smoke or whatever it is, and it makes them a little bit more relaxed. Next thing you know, you don't have no clothes on, and
wow.
The only thing I'm confused.
That's what happens.
The only thing I'm a little confused with the question, and I know it's for y'all, but I thought she said they were spending a lot of or doing a lot of talking
as friends. So they found they have a mutual interest. And so they started talking more. And she didn't really say like what it was, and she didn't say the background. You know what I mean? She just said that they have a common interest, and they started spending time together. And that's what happened. I would like to know what.
But the time never got physical?
No. I want to know what it is because of COVID, because I'm just not doing it. You know what I mean? But they spend a lot of time together, and you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, sis, I'm going to tell you the show and let it happen.
What's wrong with a woman? What's wrong with a woman expressing interest?
Nothing. I do it.
I
do it. You know, I do it all the time. I get tired of those, hey, the beautiful and hey, queen. Listen, don't do all that. Listen, what do you want? Like, you don't need to do all that for me. You don't have to sweet talk me. Let's just I don't do all that. So I have an issue with the aggressor.
So what's the consensus?
I should have had
You should have had what, David?
I should have had my cup. I see G keep sipping. I'm like, I should have had me a cup.
We always got our
cup. What was the consensus? So should she
chill?
All right. I agree. I agree.
Let them know. Let them know.
Yeah. And that's coming from a male's perspective, so that might be
let him know.
The correct thing to do.
He might be a gentleman. He might just be a gentleman and not reading the sign. So she can let him know in some type of way that she's interested.
And see what happens, sis. Go let us know. Send an email or something. All right, so we're going to get into this show for today. David, you got some new workout, right? Dr. Ouch presents Relation. You know, I can't say it because baby boy is sitting in front of me.
I was going to say, did he say it?
No, and I was hoping that's why I wasn't going to say it. We are in that repeated stage. I'm not about to explain why my son is walking around here saying it. You said
Relationshits.
There you go.
With the T. Yeah.
The Black Book.
The Black Book.
So that book is out. You've had other books, and this is another book from Dr. Ouch.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about this one, because all of your work is good. Like, you just haven't stopped. So tell us about this one.
Relationshits is a book that I've been thinking about writing since last year. And then between my life and social media, I got more and more inspired around December of last year. And then like early this year, I started writing it. And it's a book.
What happened last year and this year? You said you just got inspired, like you got inspired.
Yeah, well, because I only write when I'm inspired. But I've just had I've been single the last 4 years, so I've had some experiences to pour into this book.
Okay.
And I just feel like relationships today
This is a biography,
it
autobiography.
is a joke. It's not an autobiography, but there's a lot of me. Look, there's a lot of me in there though. A lot of my experiences. I keep saying that this is the most vulnerable piece of work that I've ever done.
Okay.
And so far by the reviews, just me being that vulnerable and talking about what I loved, what I hated, what hurt me, and expressing it that way. It seems like it's been very relatable to folks single and in relationships. Relationshits.
Relationship. So where did the relationships actually come from? Because baby boy got the word now. So
You said where did the title come from?
like the relationships. Like, are we talking about like the drama and everything associated
No,
with?
I'm just talking about a lot of people even that you can't tell that might look good on paper. Relationships are just if you're in a bullshit relationship, whether you have a lot of secrets, whether you have a lot of drama and things that I discussed behind the scenes. Like there's a lot of things going on, like couples that you see and you might see them in church every Sunday and they fight like cats and dogs in the house. I mean, like cats and dogs, verbal abuse, affairs, all kind. And it's like, to me, it was time to expose. Like, that's why the first line in the book is, "What in the hell are we doing?" That's the first line in the book. And yeah, I talk about that and the BS that we do in the single life. This is a book of accountability. That's what this book is.
Yeah, because I was getting ready to ask, like, do you touch the like the root of the causes of why people act like that in relationships? Because a lot of times, yeah, we don't get down into the deep part of the issues that people are going through and why they get into these relationships and it's not healthy. So in this book, are we covering this or are we just straight just like, relationships ain't shit?
No, oh no.
Okay.
I go that's why I share a lot of my experiences, even going back to my childhood.
Okay.
Just to show how they relate to the behavior and your decisions day to day. So yeah.
I like that. I mean, I really like the part that you speak about how it kind of exposes a lot about relationships that you may not like know, because like you may like you see a lot of Facebook couples and they're taking pictures and they posing and doing all this kind of stuff. And a lot of times we think that they have this perfect life, but behind doors, it's just a whole nother shit show. You know what I mean? It's a bunch of cheating, a bunch of fighting, a bunch of arguing. It's just everything. So that part I do appreciate. But what I really want to ask you is,
I'm here. I've been waiting on you all day. So
I'm ready.
My hands are up. I don't even want to fight. So.
You did hit this. Okay. You hit this on the nose, like, you know what I mean? And I'm saying that because like I pop a lot of smack because as a female, a lot of the things that I pop and that I fuss about, I have been through, right? So when you talk about these relationships that's BS, right? And just all this other kind of stuff, what part did you play in that, like in the past? And I'm only asking you that. I promise I'm only asking you that. Because a lot of times when people read books, they identify with the characters, right? Sometimes because the author like sort of knows what they're talking about. You know what I mean? And it basically pulls people in. So that's what my question is. Like, what part did you play? Because I believe that people read it and they understand it because they know that it's coming from an honest place.
Yeah.
And that it's not just somebody writing a bunch
of and I'm so glad you asked me that question.
That's a good question, David. See?
Yeah. Let me tell you why I'm happy that you asked me that question. Because that's what made me write the book. Like me and my ex-wife, we went to 6 different counselors.
Oh, okay.
And so they gave us reading material And the books we read, I didn't feel like related to the modern day issues that we were going through and our problems. Because, you know, our culture, like we have our own set of problems.
Okay.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk about myself to get people comfortable with accepting how they're behaving. Now I wasn't, and if you read it in its entirety, you'll see I didn't show myself in the greatest light and everything. I've definitely talked about my flaws. Like that's where a lot of the chapters came from with me. That's how I can talk about it because I lived it. So I've been living a lot of relationships thing, and I talk about it a lot. Even when we're single, we feel like as long as we stated that we're single, we can handle a woman any kind of way that we want because we feel like we're single.
Oh, let's talk about
that. And that's not true. Like I no, but and so that's why I walk. I use a lot of examples. I don't just call it out. It's easy to sit and criticize. That's an easy thing to do. But I give a lot of examples from beginning to end in situations to make people think about and see themselves. Yeah.
I like that.
Me too.
So look, if you like that, did you like the chapter?
I haven't read it yet, David.
Oh, well, I'm gonna let you know.
Let us know.
Because it's two sides. And then I have a chapter. So I address like a lot of this book, I address the men and women. Like this is not too.
What are you addressing about us?
So I know. Right.
We are perfect in every way.
I have a chapter that says women beg for the trouble they get into with men. And I break that down. Yeah.
Wait a minute, David. That's
exactly.
Not. So see, this is what we about to start beefing probably. So I don't know, David. What do we beg for?
Because I talk about and I give a lot of scenarios, I even share DMs in this book. I don't share names, of course. I even share some of my again because I know that my DMs people are going to relate to the scenarios in them. But hold on, listen.
Are these DMs that women are sending you?
Yeah, conversations.
Oh, ladies, don't y'all send him nothing else.
No, but listen.
It's going to be a Dr. Ouch part 5.
Look,
that's filled with titty pics and everything. Don't do it.
No, that's not me. But the DM that I shared, and I shared it in that chapter because I wanted to show the contrast between how a situation I had in real life happened versus the DM that I had. A young lady had DM'd me, and she was showing interest, and I let her know I'm very honest. Like, and I'm aware that my honesty is attractive. Like, women love how transparent that I am versus what's out there. And so then the young lady was like, "Oh my God, David, thank you so much for not abusing this." Because I even gave her a scenario. I said, I know I can play into this thing because I can tell your type. I can tell you're the Marian type, but I just don't want to play it up, and I don't want to waste your time. Now, and so she let me know, thank you, and all of that. But then I wanted to say, if I wanted to game her, I could have followed up because she did say, well, maybe we can go for a drink sometime. That's to see. You see how easy she begging for the trouble? I know once she comes for the drink, I laid it on the line. Now we can drink, laugh, my charm will kick in, and then I can walk away, and eventually she'll be saying, what you doing later? So that's an example.
You're right. You're right. We be thinking we can handle it. We be like, you know what, I can handle this. It's good.
Yeah. And so
somebody get caught up.
and then I'll be reminding her of everything that I told her in the beginning, but she'll be mad at me anyway.
But as much as I don't want to admit it, but
I know, I was like, damn.
I don't be, this is the thing with me and David. Like, we argue this stuff, but he's usually on point. Like, I don't think he's never not been on point. He's on point with it. Like, he's absolutely right. So I get it. I get it.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all, I've had an educator from COP, and like she said, she's been on the board of education, Baltimore County for. She said this is the most powerful book she's read in years. Like, that's a compliment, and I don't know her. Like, it's not like she's a friend telling me that bias. Like, I've been getting DMs of people I don't know telling me that the tears. I'm like, man,
Tis, they
yeah, like reading the because what it does, what the
they
book
cry.
does, what the book does, it will help you. I talk about the
Are
baby
you?
mother. Listen, I talk about the baby mother, the baby fathers, blame game. I got a chapter on that. Like everything that we go through, and I show both sides, and you're gonna walk away like, ouch.
Well, let me the part on the baby mama and baby daddy drama. Like,
Look,
talk about that chapter, and I'm asking that because you do have a lot of single parents out here. You got women that use the kids against the father, and the father
mhm.
that really can't see their kids because they have a crazy baby mother. You have mothers who are single mothers and the fathers just sort of walk away. You got all of that.
Women who will not allow the baby fathers to get
Yeah,
into relationships because
yeah,
they don't want them, but they don't want nobody else to have them.
Mhm.
yeah. Like, let's talk about that chapter. Like, what can women and men both expect from that one, and really expect to walk away with?
Walk away with. Um, I think they'll walk away with one, how the kids should be put first, and we
Mhm.
don't a lot of times. I talk about how the kids are casualties of war, and I can speak on that because I can
True.
speak on it. I can speak on it from my experiences with my 3 baby mamas, and I can speak on it from a child that went through a lot of drama and how that made me feel as a child with my
Mhm.
parents. So I speak from both perspectives in that chapter. And yeah, you definitely will. And I talk about how we do all the sneaky sleeping with each other the whole time and how that's not good. From the, I mean, the problems that causes later down the line when you want to
Sneaky and
relationship. The
How
baby mothers and baby fathers
be still
be
banging.
still banging for a long time, off and on. That's
sleeping.
part of the problem too.
Yeah, it is.
And I even talk about, I'd be like, man, I did it, and I thought it was. I told myself to keep peace because men tell themselves that, like you do, and it's like it's bullshit.
I mean, so
It's
Yeah.
why though? Why do you think? I think the women do it because they think that's still a door, an open door.
right,
Yeah.
exactly, and so that's where the conflict comes in because of the reasons for doing it. The woman thing is open door. A man is doing it, and a lot of men, this is common conversation. Like, man, if I hit her every now and then, she stay cool, and she normally does stay a little cooler. Child support might not go on as fast if you keeping those that emotional tie, but then it's drama. So what I do, I paint it real pretty, and then I show the drama that comes with it later.
Along with it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's really good. So let me ask you, because I know that I know we've asked you this in the past, but I just kind of want to ask you again for somebody who has never read any of your books, and this is their first time like hearing about you.
Mm.
What actually made you feel comfortable enough to to want to write a book and actually get it published and just get it out there? You know what I mean? And I'm only saying that because you see a lot of people, like, especially like on social media.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of people that may write, people that may rap, and like everything. And you're sitting there reading and listening, and you're sitting there like, listen, sis, bruh, listen, you need to just find another method because this is gross. And we are just not listening. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Made you what made you feel like this is working, this is good, and this is what I want to do.
Okay. How long is this interview? Okay.
David, man, we got 30 minutes left.
Okay, good. All right, so
Uh-uh.
I'm gonna try to tell it short and sweet because this story I'll never forget it because it's so I remember so vividly. But I was selling cars. I've been in the car business since I was 19, 42 now. And but but at the dealership, I remember one day calling a friend of mine saying, I know it's so much more that I'm supposed to be doing. Like I started having that feeling. And I didn't know what it was going to be. I just knew it was going to be something touching a lot of people because I've always been well liked and I've always been somebody people listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first thing people say to me is pastor because that's what my grandfather is. And I'm like, Nah, I'm a little wilder than him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's it. Even though I do notice I'm kind of preaching through what I do. I'm kicking game through what I do. But then from there, the dealership closed down, and I had wrote a short film because I like got a movie idea. But before the dealership closed, I was letting the customers read the premise to it, and everybody like loved it. And I was like, okay, people like my writing. And then from there, it was like, let me see if I could write a book because I had a book idea, and it all came so easily to me. And I started kind of putting a little excerpts on Facebook, and people were liking it. And then when I dropped the book, I think the response to your work lets you know to keep going. If people not responding to what you're doing at all, and you know, and that's not always the stamp, but you can kind of tell a little bit by, do you have a fan base for what you're doing? And I kind of found that out right away, that I do have a fan base for what I'm doing. Like, who am I? Like, I had friends tell me, like, yo, you never went to school for it, and you writing this book on this, and this is now I'm like thousands of books sold. You know what I mean? Past that, so it's like, I was like, yo, I just believed in myself, and then people started believing in me after that. But I've always been that go hard for whatever I want to do. Yeah.
I love it. So
Yeah, me too.
do you have anything you want to say, T? Because you know, great.
No, I was like, I definitely love it because it's like you said the key words, like you believed in yourself, and then everybody else started believing in you too. So it was like you really got yourself in alignment with what it is that you wanted, and you seen that vision for your book, for your whole, what do you want to call it? You're a socialpreneur, I guess we would say. So you seen the vision for everything that you wanted to do, and you're manifesting it literally. Like, this is amazing. So it's good just to hear like you sold 1,000 books already.
Yeah.
That's proper.
And are you doing so? Do you do your own the publishing, or do you work
self-publishing?
Self-publishing.
Self-publishing.
And that's a lot. And I just
because you have to do everything.
yeah. So you got to do your own artwork, your like picking out everything. Like you basically do all of the leg work, and then you just gotta get it out there and sell it. Like that's what it basically is, right?
Yes. Yes, like and like just even with, and I want to shout out everybody so far because we over 200 some books sold just with relationships, and it's just hitting 30 days. So yeah,
that's wonderful.
Yeah,
that's really really good. So, who are you shouting out, David? Like, do you have anybody like on your team? I mean, I met a few people that you work with, but who did anybody else work with you on the book? You know, it was or just so.
I would just have to shout out. It's kind of too many names, but just friends, my mom for one, and dad for giving me a lot of material for all of them. And just always I tell parents this, what I love about my parents is they were the type, they never did the baby talk or kid talk with me. And I feel like that's where I think my mom said it to you when she was on your show, like my dad's the real Dr. Ouch. And what she was saying was that like he's always talked to me straight since I was a little boy. But that wisdom carried with me, and now I'm sharing it with the world, you know. So just everybody, Antoine, Jay, all the Wiseman Productions, and really keep it a buck. All the women over the last 8 years. Hold on, I gotta get her. They know. They watch.
How about say they better be getting some royalties. They getting some royalties
that you heard either.
Well, listen, I'm giving them props. Let me give them props. Because there was times when me and my wife split that I had hit like a rock bottom. Like my writing program, the first writing program I ever had to called Final Draft, the format of film. A young lady that I was seeing bought that for me.
Okay.
And now I'm doing movies. You know what I mean? And just people, because I hate women get a bad rap. I hear men talking about the black women. I'm like, I don't know which ones y'all know, because black women have been huge in my life, and they rock with you. They support you to
hell yeah,
the moon and back. So shout out to black women.
Because a lot of these, I'm gonna get into it real quick. I know 50-year-old rappers walking around here.
Oh shit.
So
Joe, that was low. Below the belt.
so maybe they're like, what show is she watching? So
Right.
you are absolutely right. We will support you too.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will.
We will support you to the very end.
But,
And your friends are sitting there like this. Are you
Oh shit, I need a drink.
yeah.
watching? You're watching the same rap album. Are we listening to the same album?
Right.
You're right. Like we will support you to the end until the wheels fall off. So you know,
Yeah, and that keeps you going. And ladies, I'm glad the ones that bet on me bet on a good horse. But you gotta, I really do, for real, just those words, I believe in you. I believe in you means a whole lot. It does. It keeps you going through because it's any entrepreneur knows there's some ups and downs with this journey.
Yeah.
A lot of it. Character molding, but yeah.
So let me ask you about the entrepreneur part because there are a lot of like entrepreneurs out here, whether it's a book, whether they are authors. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Whether they are, putting out a book, they are, opening up a business or whatever it is. And there are a lot of new businesses that have opened up, especially because of COVID. A lot of people are just sort of finding their own way. What advice do you have? Because they may feel a little like overwhelmed right about now, and it just may be a lot, for them. What advice do you have, especially for them, like right now?
The advice I have, and I can only speak from my experience, is if you can see crystal clear where you're going, I don't care what obstacles come in front of you, don't stop. Because it's going to happen if you can see it that clear. I remember pacing the floor, fussing, because I'm a Christian, so I'm fussing at God like this, and I'm walking saying, why you give me all this vision with no provision? And this is before the movies ever happened. I could see it. I can see that I was going to do it. I knew I had the talent. I didn't know how I was going to have a team. I didn't know how I was going to put movies in theaters. And now I have a whole production company, man, and a following.
Good.
Yeah, and I remember those times of where I didn't know which way was up, but I always knew what I can always see the picture crystal clear as far as my vision.
Right.
And so keep taking action. If there's no failure, that's the last thing I want to say. Is always learning. There's no failure. You're always learning. So.
Yeah, that's excellent advice. Let me find out.
You had a good,
Really, it was.
you had a good one. You didn't argue, you didn't beef, none of that. And I appreciate it because it's honesty.
Yes.
And it's showing that you're really not an ain't, my back in front of you. I want to say, but you really not an ain't, that. And you are putting out a lot of positivity, a lot of positive vibes, a lot of you fellas should probably
let me say one more thing on that. I got you. That all your trials are necessary.
Oh yeah.
That's the last thing I want to say. It's
I'll
a
say
part of that.
preach.
It's a part of that formula for where you're going. It really
He
is.
sound like me, don't he?
Yeah. All
Yeah.
you
gotta be a light worker.
You see it when you get to the next phase or the next level, because you'll keep getting the levels. You're like, that's why I went through all of that, and that's why that didn't work out. And it'll be crystal clear. So yeah, so try not to get frustrated in your trials and know that it's all necessary.
Yeah.
Necessary.
Yeah. It's always pain in your purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, purpose in your pain. Did I say that right? I had too much to drink.
It's pain in your purpose.
There's always purpose in your pain. Yeah, purpose in your
I've
pain.
never used that before, so I don't know. I've never used that quote. I have no idea. I just went along
That's her quote. That's her quote.
You make it up or what? I don't know.
No, because that's excellent advice, because a lot of times people get discouraged and they just ready to, like, soon as you get one obstacle or one challenge, you want to give up. And it takes time.
Right.
It takes time, it takes dedication, and you got to really see it clearly what it is that you want to do with it and stick to it and have absolute huge amount of faith. I mean, it's not even just a little bit to me. It's like, I got to really believe in this, like the air I breathe, and realize that it's going to manifest eventually one day, but I just got to stay in alignment with what it is that I want. and what I want for myself and where I see my business and how I envision it.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And I wish I would have known all of this stuff myself, because I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years. So it's like I'm just getting it now. But I started out at the age of 21. So I didn't have help. I didn't have, people as yourself telling people like, this is what you should do. But I had people saying, oh, no, you need to back out now. Like, don't do it.
That's why personal development is so important. Like, to start getting your mentors and people that you listen to that have these tools. Like, that's why I can spit it out the way I do now, because I've been listening to, I can run down a long list of names of people or books that I've read, and you like, okay, that information is so important for where you're trying to go.
Right.
It is. Because like, people don't want to do that part. Like, and I be telling people, YouTube is free. It's so much game on there, for real. There's so many people that teach success principles that you can just listen to on your way to sleep if you want to, and just start putting that stuff in your mind, man. And
because to write a book, literally, like I've been sitting down writing. I'm doing an affirmation book, and it's just 30 freaking days. It's been taking me almost 2 years to write 30 days.
Right.
Like maybe this might not be my path.
But I mean, I just want to say that we can use the same advice in the business world, in the relationship world too. I just feel like, listen, we talk a lot about if something, you go out there and get it, and you just keep going until you get it. Can we apply that to relationships? And if it's somebody that we like and somebody that we want to get into that special place, can we apply that too? Like, if this is what you want to do, we can't apply.
No. Because it doesn't work with people.
Yeah, people have free will.
Yep.
Yeah, people have free will.
I mean,
it just depends on the type of
positive. So I want to.
It depends on the nature of the relationship. It can't be your karmic partner, that one you ain't supposed to be with. I mean, if it's a soulmate, or a higher level soulmate, maybe possibly. But at the same time, people still have to be like, you got free will pretty much. So that person can see like, this relationship dope, you were everything to me, but I just don't want it.
I just had to see.
And I ain't
our life.
You got somebody in mind?
No, listen.
Okay.
It sounds like she do though. Who is this boo you hiding?
My life has listen.
Who is the boo?
You the lie.
Let me shout out my Uncle Clyde. He just texted me. He's one of the people that helped me along the way too, big time. It's beautiful that people believe in me. It just is. I love it. I love it. You gotta keep going.
Well, I'm really, really proud of you, David. I can't wait.
Me too.
Can't wait to read the book. I usually read it after we interview you, and then I'm like, all right, let me just go ahead and read this book.
I think
some smack. I don't need to read it. Don't you say I'm going to learn nothing.
No, I'm not going to
learn nothing except for that you were doing this show.
Look, I'm not going to say you're going to learn nothing, but I think.
Sorry. Vitamins. Give me the vitamins, baby. You not sick? Baby, come on. No. And that's Pedialyte. That's not vitamins. That's a laxative. Come on. No. Okay. Take these. It would have been a train wreck.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
Not at 10:08 p.m. We not. No. Okay. So, what are you saying?
I just want to tell you, read it, and if you want, I know I heard you say something about COVID. I could wear a mask and gloves and bring you a copy. But I'm gonna bring it because and DM me afterwards or text me afterwards, because it's not what you think.
What the book? The book good. I think
but you're gonna be like, oh, you went to a place with this one. That's what you're gonna say.
I'm hoping so. Like I was so, because as I said, I have read your books. Like every time we like interview you and you be like, yo, here, read it. I read it and I really don't want to admit. I'd be like, he really did a good job. Like really did a good job. So I really don't want to admit it, but I know that this.
Can I ask y'all a question?
What?
This is for both of y'all. And then I'm gonna keep it real. I get that. That's why I say I love people. I love the before and after when people read my books. Why do a lot of women get kind of defensive of my raw approach and then appreciate me later once they read it. What is that? I don't know what that is.
I don't think we like to admit that men are right when they talk about.
Well, thank you for saying.
I don't think that men. I think we like to admit that men are right when they talk about us, and we also don't. And then, especially if you are speaking with women that may have dealt with like past hurt and have a little bit of resentment or just some underlying feelings about the way that some men move. When you try to give them advice or when they see something in writing, they don't always want to believe it because they don't believe that it's coming from a sincere and accurate place. You know what I'm saying? And have a man write a book that basically puts everything on the table in the way that a woman would probably say it is just really different. Because when you have a conversation with a lot of men, they see it the other way because a lot of their problems they put on you, and they'll well, this is what women do, and da 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 da, and you sitting there like, well, no, it wasn't just me. So it's just that hesitation because you don't always know where.
I got you.
And then when you see it, you be like, oh.
Okay, like that's when they realize, oh, it came from a sincere place because he's apologizing. Yeah, you can, because I think I get that a lot. People can tell my heart when they read my stuff. Like,
apologizing for being an ain't.
Yeah,
right.
We already know what it is.
There we go.
I trust it. So it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Did you have anything else you wanted to say, T?
No, ma'am.
Any type of information about buying the book, where they can get the book, if somebody wants to contact you, if somebody wants to follow you, like we never put any of that out. So
and it's also below on a ticker.
It is
I love it. I've been seeing this people. I'm like, yep, that's it.
I'm over here trying to be an engineer and everything.
You know, a lot of people don't read because I don't read.
Like, no, I'm just saying. So just in case, like while he's saying it, and they be like, "Wait a minute, I missed that." It's on the ticker. Yeah.
So Dr-ouch. I'm sorry, I said doctor. dr-ouch.com is where you can purchase any of my books. And you can follow me on IG at davidl.marcus and on Facebook at David Lloyd Marcus.
All right. This has been a good show. David said we had a good show today.
Yes, we did.
And we didn't fight at all.
And we didn't argue.
Not at all. And you won't argue with me after you read the book either. But you gotta hit me seriously. I want to get it in my
highlighter. No, so I'm telling you now. I work from home every day. So I work from home on a regular basis. So any day I can meet with you
tomorrow.
I'm home.
You ready?
I came to our house today. I'm gonna drop it off tomorrow. Right.
So
I got my t-shirt. You got t-shirts for sale?
I'm gonna drop it off tomorrow. No, I gotta order more t-shirts.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's perfectly fine. And I gotta go see the braid lady because I'm trying to get some braids. I gotta make sure I got enough for her to grip. So you know. I want to go see her a little after 12, but anytime after that, I'll be home. So, yes, that's wonderful. I'm going to read the book. I'm going to post a review on XDY. And I'm going to tell them, ladies, he was on point. Now, the chapter so-and-so was a little off. I didn't really like the flow.
Right. That was some bullshit. That was not real.
You should probably say
we do not act like that.
Right, because like, we are just... Right.
If the shoe fit.
Right. Right. And that's not what you do to us. Like I'm not gonna let you do that to us. So I'm gonna have my review set. So I smack about you, but I'm ready. I will be home.
All right. So just hit me and we'll coordinate it tomorrow.
We'll set it up. Okay. And so you know how we do, we usually close our show with an affirmation, a statement, or whatever you want to say. Whatever's in your heart, I mean, whatever you feel like, you know, you want to put out there, and you put it out there. So,
you want me to go first?
Mm-hmm. You always go first. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to say to anybody with a dream to take massive action and don't leave it at thought. Because if you leave it at thought, you can just die with that thought and have never done anything. Take action. That's where the magic happens. So.
Oh, that's where the man. Okay.
I love it. All right, so I don't have much to say. I actually don't have anything to say this time
Oh.
around, but just pretty much maybe don't let people change you, because I know sometimes we can tend to not want to open our heart and love again because of past experiences and how people treated you. But don't allow people to change you, and just remember that they are the problem, not you. That's it.
I don't really have anything.
I know, right? We like, I don't think about
I
this.
had like before we started, I had these little quotes in my head, like this little song I was gonna sing, but I can't because this was really positive. It was really eye opening. So I'm just gonna say, for every single lie that you may have been told, I apologize. I apologize. Lady, for everything I may have told you during this show to make you hate men, I apologize. Dr. Out's little black book has changed. I haven't read it on chat. I'll add me in 7 days.
Already changed.
I'll probably have a rebuttal set, and then we go back to the regular activity.
All right.
This is Tian of XTY.
And a Yoka T Price.
And
David Lloyd Marcus.
Yay.
And we want to thank y'all for tuning in. We will see y'all next time. Peace.
Love y'all.
Peace.